Hey guys, it's JP here. In this video we're going to be comparing a $1,200 or $1,500 camera, the Panasonic Gh4, to the built-in camera on the iPhone 7. I don't think this is going to be a fair shootout because the iPhone 7 at most costs $1,000, $1,100 and it does many other things and just happens to have a camera in it that does 4K, whereas this is a camera that's dedicated, costs more than the iPhone 7, so this is going to be an interesting video. To compare the two cameras, we're going to be comparing the pictures to pictures, and then we're going to be comparing the movies to movies, and then we're going to be doing this in 3 different scenarios. We're going to be doing one scenario outside in full light during the day, and then we're going to be doing 2 scenarios inside. One with all the lights on with as much light as possible, and then one with all the lights off except for one little light off into the corner to see how well it does in the dark. Let's talk specs on the Gh4. It's got a 16.05 megapixel 17.3mm by 13mm live-mos sensor. It's right here. It's got a 3-inch OLED monitor so you can see what you're shooting. And then it can take 4K 24p cinematic video. It's got low pass and wide band aperture filters on it. It's got several different control options so you can take monochrome pictures or whatever else. And then it's also got a magnesium alloy body with a durable shutter unit so it can withstand heavy field use. It's got Wi-Fi with NFC technology, and then it takes a standard SD card slot right here, so it'll read SD, SDHC, and SDXC. Alright, let's talk about the iPhone 7 Plus. It's got dual 12 megapixel sensors on the back. It's got 28/56mm equivalent focal length. It's got an f-stop 1.8/2.8 aperture. It's got on-sensor phase detection. It's got a quad LED flash. It can capture raw DNG footage and has manual control with third-party apps. It can record 4K video at 30 frames a second, so it should be a pretty close run-up, I would think, to the Gh4. So let's dive into the pictures and then let's dive into the video to find out what we can see. Let's review what we just saw. So starting with the outside, I think the iPhone took the better picture, but I do really like the Gh4 picture. It just seems a little bit more crisp, and it seems like there's a little bit more detail on the cover of the steelbook that we're looking at. Now when we switch to the inside, I think the iPhone wins both scenarios, hands down. The less light that there is, the worse the picture looks with the Gh4, and the better the picture looks with the iPhone. So, now that we've looked at the pictures, let's go ahead and switch to the movies. Alright, now that we've seen the footage for both the iPhone and the Gh4, let's talk about it for a little bit. When we look at the iPhone footage, it's very bright and it looks pretty clear and the colors seem pretty bright. But then when we switch to the Gh4 footage outside, there's more detail, it's crisper, it's cleaner to look at, and I really, really like the outside footage. When we switch to the inside with lots of light, the iPhone changes the lighting to make it look really white in here, but it's actually got kind of a yellow tint due to my lights above. So I'm going to have to give this to the Gh4 since it's actually portraying the true colors of how it is, or to the lighting that's inside this room, whereas the iPhone changes it to make it look white. I think the iPhone may be a little bit more pleasing to look at first, but then when I sit there and look at the two side by side and just keep looking at them, I like the Gh4 more. It's more true to color, it's more true to what's being shown. Now when we switch to low light, almost no light in here, it's the same situation, just more extreme. The iPhone makes everything look really white and really makes it vivid, but we can do this with with editing after the fact, and I really like the Gh4 picture. It looks more clear, and I think it's just an overall better picture inside that movie. Whereas the iPhone, yes, it looks really good. If you don't want to do anything, that's great, but I think the Gh4 is the winner hands down here. I also want to add that at the first of this video all the way to the point where I start talking about the iPhone 7, I'm using the iPhone 7 to record all the audio and all the video, and then after that I'm using the Gh4 to talk about the iPhone 7 and then everything in between, except for the comparison videos and pictures. The reason I did this is I wanted to give you even more comparisons between the iPhone and the Gh4. Alright, so the Gh4 is a $1,200 to $1,500 camera, and that is without a lens, so it is very much a very professional camera to use. I was just using the kit lens that came off of the G7 since I didn't want to try and find the lens that I should use with this camera. Overall, I think it does really well and really showed the difference between the iPhone and the Gh4. But, once again, is it worth spending $2,000 on a Gh4 versus the iPhone? It's still going to the same fact that the iPhone's going to be in your pocket, it's really easy to use, it takes great pictures, takes great video, but if you're looking for the very best camera, then the Gh4 is definitely the winner here. Let me know what you guys thought of the two cameras in the comments below. Let me know which one you thought was better. I'd love to see what you guys think. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more of these videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I've got plenty more for you to watch. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.